Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's a podcast that takes a variety of penicillins. It's Guys of a Certain Age. Robbie Copeland's in studio alongside
Art Shirley.
And Jay Reed.
So Jay's knowledge comes in helpful before we turn the mic on because I'm dealing with the remnants of a root canal. And so I always ask him, Jay, if the meds I'm taking, are they going to kill me or not? And he's usually been truthful, but I'm waiting for that one time.
Yeah.
He leads me down the primrose path. So I'll be the guinea pig. I'll be the coal in the canary mine for you, Art.
Good deal.
So, yeah,
Guys of a Certain
Coal in
Age
the
is
canary
own Dr.
mine.
Nick.
That's a new one.
You like that one? Coal in a canary mine. I did that one just for you.
Yeah. I wish I was listening.
I'll talk, no listen. So that's just kind of the way this goes. Are you not better, Jay? You're better, aren't you?
I have a lingering cough, but I'm better. I just finished a round of my own antibiotics yesterday.
Wow.
But I'm still inhaling things.
So are you on an antibiotic too? We could be guys of a certain antibiotic.
I'm not.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
Go guys with a certain antibiotic.
I'm like in week number 4 of dealing with a crown gone awry to a root canal to a root canal infection, which seems to be getting better on a second round of antibiotics. And Jay tells me this is all normal.
Yep.
Right.
Well, my whole root canal crown process took several months, and then I might have to go back and get mine kind of adjusted as well.
But did your root canal? How long was your discomfort after your root canal?
That wasn't too long. No.
Wow, this infection's about to kill me.
Well, I didn't have an infection, so.
Yeah, your discomfort is sitting in this dark room with a couple of people.
I tried to turn the light on. I got accosted.
That's right. You absolutely did. You absolutely did. All right, let's jump.
So we replaced Geeks of the Week with Ailments of the Week now. And
we should. Well,
after the break, we'll be talking about the weather.
Yeah, and how my knee feels.
Yeah, that's right.
So, let's jump into some Geeks of the Week. So,
I actually have one.
You said you didn't in the
I
text.
got one as you were talking, and I wasn't paying attention.
What?
I got one as you were talking about penicillin.
Well, who wants to go first?
You might as well.
Okay. I'll break tradition. That's been, last week's tradition, I guess. But anyway, new Superman trailer came out. We talked about that. But also there's news in the Zack Snyder world. Did either of y'all watch either one of the Rebel Moon movies?
I watched part of the first one.
I intended to, but I haven't yet.
Intended to. Well, that's good. That's all that really matters.
It's better than him remembering that he did.
Right. Yeah, that's a good
I
point.
may or may not have watched it 2 years ago.
They're saying the chances of a third Rebel Moon movie will require an act of God. They're not going to do it. It was, for those that don't know, Rebel Moon was Zack Snyder's attempt to kind of do a Star War. And
Star War.
A Star War. And it looked like it, had all the things you would need, the trappings you would need for a good science fiction kind of movie. And the first one wasn't, wasn't unwatchable, but it just wasn't memorable either. I can't even remember what happened. And of course, there was a lot of slow-mo in it. I do remember that.
Yeah.
It's probably we said, I think at the time it was a, 30-minute movie crammed into 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So they're saying it's just, the first one had kind of mixed reviews. Neither one of the movies were a critical success, but the second one just tanked really bad. So
I saw that Netflix said the moon's gone out of orbit and ain't coming back.
Yeah, they're just not happening.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Superman trailers, everybody seen that?
Oh,
yes.
Gosh,
looks really, really good.
Just amazing.
Looks really, really good.
Just absolutely.
I'm kind of reading what the Easter eggs and things were that we saw in there, one of which was Metamorpho making kryptonite. I didn't pick that up, but apparently that's what's happening. So.
And he was in the cell with Metamorpho.
Right. That's where it's happening. That's why he's weakened and the
Gotcha. Don't tell me. I don't want anything else.
That's it. I mean, that's just pretty much it. You were supposed to see that in the trailer. I didn't get that from the trailer.
I didn't catch that in the trailer either.
But,
but there was a lot of action.
In the trailer. Yeah.
Holt as Lex Luthor looks great.
He looks great. He looks really good. And I've seen other people comment on this. There, a lot of the trailer is framed in an interview that Lois Lane, who knows Clark is Superman, obviously, is doing with Superman. Mm-hmm. Clark Kent, they're in an apartment and doing that. And they start the interview, and it's kind of funny at first, and but there's a part that he says Superman, and she goes, Miss Lane, and his voice changes to this Superman, but it's not over the top or anything, and it reminded me very much of Christopher Reeve, and in that moment I go, okay, this guy gets it, it's really good. But the whole thing is, I think it's going to be really good.
I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Yeah. I'm looking.
This trailer, trailer definitely amped. I was already interested in it, but this really amped up my interest.
Yeah, me too.
And you have a dog?
Yeah.
yeah. And I love Crypto in the Fortress of Solitude, kind of guarding it. So,
yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. So, well, Jay, what do you have?
Well, actually, mine are trailer related as well.
Mine are both exactly the same.
Trailer news. I don't know much about this character, Ironheart, but the trailer for that dropped this week, and that looks good.
Riri Williams as Ironheart.
Yep. So what you said. So anyway, that's just very brief. It kind of relates to what I think Marvel had announced. They're going to do every year. They're going to do 3 movies, 2 live actions, and something else. Did you read that?
I did not.
They've just basically decided they're gonna roll with a couple of different things. They're not gonna try to overshoot. No Instagram. I don't want to do a security thing right now. I have this pulled up, and it's now not pulled up. But anyway, that's not my geek anyway. But it was important. All right, so they're saying Marvel released maximum of 3 films, 2 live action shows, and 2 animated shows a year.
Okay.
So I guess this is this will be one of the live action shows.
It's a show, not a movie, right?
Yeah, Ironheart's a limited series.
Limited series. But anyway, back to the trailers. I saw a couple things related to Superman. One was the shot where he's kind of walking through the crowd and people are throwing things at him.
Yeah.
So in the original or one of the earlier trailers or teaser trailers or whatever, the guy throws it, hits him in the back of the head. He blinks. But in the current trailer, apparently they've taken the blink out.
I saw that. Yeah.
Which I never would have picked that up, but I think that's fascinating because Superman wouldn't feel it, right? I mean, theoretically,
I would think he would be aware of it, but it wouldn't hurt him.
Well, his super senses would pick it up. Yeah. But he wouldn't make him wince. But the other thing that came across, and it had to have come out at the same time as the trailer because of some of the scenes that were in this newest trailer, in this Milk-Bone dog biscuit commercial. Have you seen this?
I have not.
No.
So it's all the scenes with Superman, kind of laying, or Clark Kent laying on the bed with Krypto on top of him, and she says, you have a dog.
Do you have a dog?
Yeah. So that's in there, and Mr. Terrific is. I'm sure this is just made up for the commercial, but Mr. Terrific is like on the street, playing with Krypto and throwing dog biscuits around, and it's a really kind of a cool commercial, but totally, it was like, okay,
this is non-canon.
Non-canon.
Yeah. It's non-canon.
Most of it is non-canon, but it was just kind of funny. So anyway,
I have to look for that. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, Milk-Bone commercial.
Milk-Bone
have to look it up. Have to look it up. So cool. All right. I've got a couple of geeks. So yet again, let's welcome our friend HBO Max into the chat discussion.
That's right. Yeah.
So it was HBO Go. Then they rolled out HBO
Now.
HBO Now. No, it was HBO Now, then HBO Go.
That's right.
Go was the app. Then they folded it into HBO Max. They dropped the HBO, and it was Max. Now the application is now going to be known as HBO Max again.
Are they just going to convert it this time, or are going to have to download another
I'm sure you're going to have to download
I'm downloading as we speak.
Okay.
I'm sure you're going to have to download another app. And along those same lines, the ESPN streaming service was announced. That's going to premiere sometime this fall, $29.99 for ESPN's complete bundle, and it's going to be called ESPN
Max.
No,
ESPN Max.
ESPN, just ESPN.
Not even Plus.
Not even Plus. Plus is still a separate product. Plus is their entry level product to get the off sports that you might not want. ESPN is going to be the $30 a month product that gets you everything.
So it includes ESPN Plus.
Yes.
And Ocho.
Yeah, and Cinco and Nueve and all the rest of them. And don't say.
I know I'm getting charged for something that's ESPN related.
You're probably getting an ESPN Plus subscription because if you want to watch any non-major Mississippi State or Ole Miss sporting events, you've got to have the Plus to do it, especially baseball.
Okay. All right.
And in some cases,
occasionally football.
at least
Yeah.
one game a year, I think, is on some
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So,
Jefferson Pilot. I've got Jefferson Pilot Plus.
and you're the only one.
that's
Jefferson
right.
Pilot Max.
See,
Man.
an original standard def.
Man, I was been digitizing a lot of my footage, and I've come across a bunch of JP games.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
great. You know, Bob Kessling. So, and then you had the Daves, Dave, and Dave, Dave Neal, and I forget the other two Daves, but yeah, way back when. Along the lines of what you were talking about with Zack Snyder, we all remember the Snyder cut. Well, there's been rumors of a Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. So, of course, Schumacher died a few years ago, but his original cut of Batman Forever was basically almost an hour longer than the theatrical, and went a little bit more deeper into the psyche of Bruce Wayne and Batman. And so there may be some momentum for the Schumacher cut to be released
And that's
on
the
HBO Max.
That's the George Clooney one, right?
No, it's Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. Batman and Robin was the George Clooney.
That's right.
Okay, yeah.
This is Batman Forever.
Forever. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, I would watch it, whatever.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a new Batman podcast, DC High Volume.
Okay.
And I just finished what it was available this week, and was thinking I need to go back and watch all the original Batman movies just for kicks.
Yeah. I rewatched Batman and maybe Batman Returns. The original Keaton Batman holds up incredibly well. Of course, I have a lot of nostalgia for that. But, you know, Batman Forever, I had a positive vibe about. But Batman and Robin, oh my.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Please not again. So can't go for that. No can do. I can't go for that. Oh, Hall & Oates, who are no longer together. They apparently hate each other. Did you guys know that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I've heard, sometimes successful duos and trios that happens to them.
Yeah.
So, let's see. We talked about HBO Max. The other thing this week when Jay was, referencing the Marvel plans to do this, that, and the other, Kristen Ritter was at the Marvel Upfront, and she announced she was going to be in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So, welcome Jessica Jones to the official MCU.
Is it going to be called Daredevil Born Again Season 2?
I think so. That's what I've seen it referred
Born
to.
again.
That's what I was going to say. Born Again again.
Yeah, Born Again. So we should talk about that. How about we talk about Daredevil the second half of the show?
I thought we did.
Not yet. You're not listening. You need some penicillin.
I never even saw the text is what we were talking about. If I'd known that was what, I would never have shown up.
Wow. But it brings up hope that maybe you would get a couple of the other characters. I wouldn't mind seeing Luke Cage. And look, you can give Iron Fist.
Sure, give him
Power
a,
Man.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Iron Fist or whatever. Give him another shot. So
Punisher's already doing something. That'd be it,
Yeah.
though, wouldn't it? There wasn't another.
That was it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you had Elektra in season 1 of Daredevil.
Yeah.
And then who else jumped in? Who were the two cops?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
They were pretty good. There was talk about a spinoff there.
Well,
so.
then Daredevil himself went into She-Hulk. So would She-Hulk be?
I think She-Hulk's done. Unfortunately. Yeah.
I
Probably
think
so.
She-Hulk's
Which is
done.
a shame because it was a fun show.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
If She-Hulk could show up
Isn't that
in
where we
West Coast
got
Avengers.
Madison for the first time?
I think so.
Oh, maybe.
Or was that Doctor Strange?
I can't remember.
They all run together now.
Which Doctor Strange, except for
Yeah.
Thunderbolts, which we really liked. We gave it an enthusiastic approval, didn't we?
We did.
I think I liked it not quite as much as y'all did, but I enjoyed it. Thought it was good. I'll say approval.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
Ambivalent
we've covered
approval.
Thunderbolts though in another episode.
I think I'll see it again.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Great.
Captain America: First New World Order is streaming on Disney Plus right now.
Is it?
Okay. I should watch that again.
And Strange New Worlds has been announced to be premiering in July.
Okay.
I
Have y'all
believe.
finished Andor yet?
Oh gosh, yeah. I stayed up and watched all of it.
No, I'm
That-
my Disney app is spinning. It's I don't know what you'll have to give me some tips on that app.
So
Google it.
hold the application down, uninstall it,
Yeah.
and then reinstall.
That's what I was going to do.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah. So I was like last night. I finally got on my phone and put it up on TV, and then it blipped out there, and I finally got through an episode. But I got through the one that Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, and I know this is what we're talking about, but we finished Andor and then watched Rogue One last night.
Yeah.
I finished Andor earlier in the week and then watched it. And man, I'd forgotten how good that movie was.
That movie is fabulous.
Yeah.
My plan is when we go on vacation in a week and a half or so, I'm going to download both seasons of Andor and Rogue One and just binge.
Well, I think we're going to go back, maybe not right away, but in the not too distant future, and watch them again because we realized that we just didn't pay attention enough, well enough. And I think a rewatch is well in order. It was so good.
Man, it just, it's got to be, it may be my favorite Star Wars.
Let's talk about it some other time.
Yeah.
Because we're going to run out of stuff to talk about. I mean,
we never run out.
We said that 3 years ago.
Yeah, we said that 4 years ago.
We did, in fact, run out of things to talk about, then we just kept on going.
That's never stopped us before. But we're going to stop now. We're going to take a break. We're going to talk Daredevil Born Again up next. And we're back, and we still are all three in the same room. And we're probably going to talk about the same thing. I mean, if Art remembers, at least, from before the break, we're going to talk Daredevil Born Again, which is his entry, the Daredevil entry to the MCU. Even though the Netflix shows have been brought over to the House of the Mouse Disney Plus application, now what's happening is considered canon, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, question is, what did you guys think of Daredevil Born Again?
Jay, you want to go first?
I really enjoyed it. I did note that there was, it seemed like it had several arcs, know, because you start off, with the whole Foggy thing and the mayor.
Spoiler
election.
alerts, by the way.
Yes, big spoiler alerts. And then you have I've forgotten the name, but the masked dude, the serial killer, Muse.
Yeah.
Muse comes in, and then, I don't know, it's just kind of like, and it's not a bad thing, but it's not like it builds on one story aside from the, the Kingpin Daredevil story. It brings in several other things in the course. So I don't know if that's too much, not enough. It added some interest to it, but overall, I really like, I've said this before. I like the, Murdoch. I like the actors. Charlie Cox, is that right?
Yeah,
that's right.
I like the actors. We've said many times, D'Onofrio, does a fantastic job, and I really have enjoyed. I'm going to butcher this name, Ayelet Zurer. She plays Vanessa Fisk.
She's fabulous.
Yeah.
She's really good, and what's
She's
interesting,
evil.
I don't know if you've watched any Amazon Prime right now. It's got something called House of David, and it's about the biblical, David the King, and she plays Saul's wife.
Ooh,
and it's a eerily similar role, because she's playing, because Saul eventually kind of loses his mind a little bit, and so she's playing the sane kind of queen, trying to keep things going in a crumbling household, and it's, at least for part of the time, it's sort of same with Kingpin. Anyway, I think she's just a fabulous actress. So, but I loved it. I know y'all. I'm interested to see what you have to say, but I really enjoyed watching it. Look forward to season 2.
Okay.
Art.
I thought it was fine. I called it Daredevil Born Again. It seemed like they took a long time to tell the story. There was a lot of, the pacing of it was not great for me for some reason. And I there was a lot of time that he was not Daredevil, and I get that. I realize they're focusing on that, but I wanted to see more Daredevil. It seemed like he'd kind of given up the thing after the thing with Foggy happened. And, of course, there was the whole backlash against vigilantes, but it took him a while to get going, I thought.
But even when he wasn't Daredevil, he still had a few opportunities to fight like Daredevil. So he kind of had that same vibe, but without the costume.
Yeah.
So I could tell, once I watched the whole thing, I could tell where they kind of wrapped the reshoots into the original story, because if I recall correctly, the original story was basically Fisk as mayor, vigilante outlaw act similar to Civil War and what happened there. And then Muse was the big bad. And they bookended it with Karen and Foggy. Foggy getting killed by the
not Punisher, but Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Yeah.
And, so they brought him back in, and they tried to make it a little bit more cohesive.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, probably more than Art did, not as much as Jay.
But I think you're hitting on it and you've talked about it too, several arcs. And to me, that felt like there wasn't, we kind of bounced back and forth between things. And I felt like let's just get on with what's going on. I mean, what's the story here?
What'd you guys think about the brigade of Punisher wannabes?
I thought that was pretty good. It reminded me a lot of the Batman
Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly. I thought I've seen this before.
Yeah,
and so are you familiar with the Dark Knight? I know we've talked about.
I've watched it, but I'm not sure.
It's another name for this character called Batman.
Yeah, but there's
talking about the movies or the comics though. But
talk about
comics. But if you've seen the movie
course,
adaptation of it.
Dark Knight Returns, the Frank Miller seminal classic that kind of rebirthed.
Anyway, there's a similar thing. There's a group of there's a gang of these Batman wannabe that are kind of doing things after he's disappeared.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, I thought John Bernthal was great as Punisher. He's just really good. I thought their scenes together were really good.
Boy, he's just got that snarl.
He really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
There could have been more humor in it. I know this was but sometimes it just gets overly dark. I think Marvel movies work best when not if they go to the extreme that Thor does sometimes, although I like that. But there needs to be something in there that's got a little humor in it.
Yeah, it definitely was serious.
Yeah. Lots of blood.
Yeah.
Maybe a little. I mean, the scene where Kingpin kills the chief of police, the commissioner.
That was brutal.
Oh yeah, I fast forwarded. I knew what was about to happen, but
that was brutal.
Yeah,
I thought James Gandolfini's son, and I can't remember his first name. I thought he was really good.
He was really
liked
good.
him. Gosh,
who did he play?
He was the mayor's assistant. That came in.
The young buck,
the kind of swarmy sort of. I'll never let you down, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
he was really good. I thought.
Wasn't much fan service or Easter eggs to the larger Marvel canon. I was expecting maybe a little something. I would have loved to have seen a Spider-Man cameo or
the closest thing we had was Miss Marvel's father in the bank scene,
which I thought was great.
Yeah, that's right.
I understand Charlie Cox did not like the whole bank episode. He just thought that was kind of, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually, a good episode.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those that, it was a distraction from the story.
To be honest with you, I watched Daredevil when it first came out. Then the last 3 episodes taken me a while to watch. I'd forgotten that standalone, that bottle episode.
Bottle episode, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that was one of the examples of what I said earlier about how he was very much Daredevil in that episode, even though without the mask.
What did you guys think about him saving Kingpin?
I thought it was an interesting twist. I mean, because I still don't know the motivation for it really.
Because he's very much anti-death. He doesn't want. I mean, he doesn't mind beating you almost to death, but he wants to make sure you get your
as
due
opposed
day.
to Punisher, who has no qualms.
Yeah,
it seems.
Yeah. So
okay,
but it's another one of those series to me that feels like a setup for the next season. And I'm thinking, I think we could have, because you kind of get to this point and you go, okay, well, now he's Daredevil again. His love interest at this time is very anti-vigilante. They're having problems. Kingpin is now Kingpin. And I'm like, why did it take us 8 episodes to get to this point? Why can't we ever, it always seems like and Daredevil seems to be especially this way. It always seems to be set up. And then we get, and so there's not the payoff that I was expecting.
I wonder if the love interest is going to remain so now that she's on staff with Kingpin. Is it going to be more adversarial? That could be interesting in the second season. Plays out.
I just want to see Kingpin on the big screen.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's so good.
Man, he just kind of owns every scene he walks into. And I mean, I would love, Fantastic Four when they end up on Earth, if he's there with the key to the city to hand it to these heroes, who are scientists.
That would be really
Welcome to our fair city that I love so much.
Do you know Vanessa?
Different Vanessa.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vanessa Kirby, Vanessa.
Yeah, that's right. So, but I don't know that I would go back and re-watch Born Again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'll go back and rewatch much at all, so I probably wouldn't either.
Yeah,
but, but I would recommend it to somebody.
Yeah,
with those qualifications, it has
a lot of
larks
gore
and slow in places, and but overall,
boy, I would hate to see the original cuts before all the reshoots, re-edits, rewrites. Mm-hmm. It had to have been pretty bad. It had to have been Secret Invasion. Man. Can we agree that Secret Invasion is by far the worst Marvel
content of any kind? I mean, like movies.
Yeah.
I would say so.
It's up there with Corman's Fantastic Four.
Eternals.
Yeah.
That's
Secret Invasion.
You go with Secret Invasion?
Yeah, because they took Nick Fury and turned him into a
They
whiny.
wasted Nick Fury, and also they retconned Don Cheadle's what
oh yeah, what was
Warhammer.
Yeah. War Machine.
War Machine.
Don
yeah.
Cheadle.
Warhammer is what Cavill's hoping to play sometime.
Yeah.
Rhodey is what I was trying to think of. They ruined his character.
Yeah.
So I kind of consider it non-canon. Sorry.
Good luck with that. And we haven't seen Khaleesi's character back again, because she's like a super scroll of sorts, right?
Yeah.
So
I've asked this before. Have y'all seen the Roger Corman's Fantastic Four before?
I've only seen bits and pieces.
You can find the whole movie on YouTube. It's entertaining to watch.
More so than Daredevil Born Again?
Oh yeah, but not for the same reasons. It's just, there's a story there, and the actors are doing their best with what they've got. But it is so funny to watch. But what's strange is, up until this new movie, we had probably the most comic book accurate thing in that version.
Did you guys see, staying in the Marvel universe a little bit, where what's his face, Ian Griffith? How bad did I butcher that?
I think it's Griffith.
Griffith,
even though it's not spelled that way at all.
And how do you pronounce the first name?
Ian.
Yeah. Even though it's got an extra vowel.
Oh wait, no, that is
IOAN.
Oh no! Now that you said that, I'm thinking it's something
that
different.
on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Did they?
He bought it.
I almost said he spent some money on that first name.
I was going to say, if that was like a person clue, and it's like, wow. Sorry you didn't get the million. Thanks.
Yeah. So he was asked this last week at a convention, hey, are you in Doomsday? Are you reprising your role? And he said, no, I'd love to. Kind of shades of Andrew Garfield, a little bit. Oh, speaking of Marvel, did you guys see the Spider-Noir image?
Yeah.
So
Nicolas
Amazon
Cage, right?
Yeah.
He's
live action.
The character. Is he actually playing the character?
He's playing the character.
Okay.
It's live action. It's going to have a very Sin City feel to it.
Okay. So obviously he put on some weight to play John Madden.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Man. I don't know if that's real or not, but his face looks, but I guess I could do all that. So.
Yeah. Probably can. Yeah. But
that was speaking of Spider-Man, that was other Marvel news this week that there was.
We're going to invert geeks.
Yeah, the Spider-Man this coming out brand new Homeway, something like that.
Sure.
Whatever the new Spider-Man is coming
out
is not going to be part of the multiverse. It's going to be like they call that a soft reboot of Spider-Man in the MCU, which should be interesting.
And a grounding, or what, I can't remember what they said. He's more grounded in reality this time.
Maybe.
Like they won't have he'll be fighting street level kind of crime instead. Yeah.
He'll be your friendly
neighborhood.
Yeah, and then so the other Spider-Man probably will not be a part of this.
And I agree with that. I mean, I think that was a great thing to have.
Yeah.
After that, I think it's kind of going back to the well too much. I would still like to see an Andrew Garfield third movie.
Yeah, that would be great. So, I mean, is Spider-Man the most New York City superhero of all? Is he the superhero that's most associated?
I think so, yeah. I mean, all of them are based in New York City, or most of them are based in New York City. The Marvel people are. But I just feel like he's kind of tied to New York more so than anybody else.
Queens, right? He's
Yeah.
Queens.
Yeah, he's Queens.
Well, I mean, Daredevil.
Yeah,
Well,
there's Hell's Kitchen. I mean, they're in Captain America, but Captain America goes off. I would say Daredevil. I just don't think Daredevil is as well known as Spider-Man.
True.
So,
Yeah. The devil of Hell's Kitchen.
See, before this Daredevil series, to get back to our original subject,
why?
is I feel like I've always known about Daredevil, but didn't know much about him. And then now, I know a lot more. And I watched with Ben Affleck, right? Or
Affleck. Yeah.
that same guy. I watched that version, and didn't somebody else play him? Who played? No, I'm thinking about Phantom. Never mind.
Well, Rex Smith played him in the 70s.
Oh,
when
wow.
The Hulk goes to trial.
Oh, that's right. Oh, where you had Thor show up, and you had
in the more traditional Norse god outfit instead of the comic book accurate outfit.
yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. But what you just said about Daredevil is what almost anybody would have said about Iron Man 15 years ago.
Okay. Yep.
I mean,
See, I was a fan of Iron Man. I have comics for Iron Man. So
and I was the same way with Daredevil.
Yeah. I've got Iron Man comics as well, but most folks have
both they're B characters at best.
Yeah.
But now they're not. Now
They'd be making a lot of money.
They're the biggest. B stands for the biggest.
Yeah,
that's what they are. Big bads.
Or big goods.
Yes.
I like big goods, and I cannot lie. So, it.
How's our rating?
Yeah. Sorry, Mrs. Reed.
Said good.
Mrs. Reed, the Beagle Finder, by the way.
Oh gosh.
So one of your mom's neighbors' beagle got out, and apparently Mrs. Reed organized the search party to comb the neighborhood. The beagle named Bagel. So shout out to Craig Arhus and his wife Amy, who do not listen to the podcast. So
they found them. They found Bagel. Yes.
Yeah, Bagel, who's down at the nursing home.
Down at the nursing home.
Yeah. Only in a small
happy,
town.
I'm sure.
Yeah, only in a small town.
That's funny.
Yeah. So the Beagle Finder Brigade. So.
Bagel the Beagle.
What's that?
Bagel the Beagle.
That's right.
Pizza. So, all right. So back to Daredevil, even though you succinctly brought it back around. Did you guys like this more than season 1 of Daredevil on Netflix that you remember?
No.
I agree with you, Art.
Probably not. I'm trying to think if I finished season 1 original.
I definitely finished season 1. Season 1 to me was really good, and maybe because it was so novel at the time.
Yeah,
the gritty reality of it.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, season 2 was pretty good. I never finished season 3.
Yeah, that's the same way I did.
So, and
watching the original season 1 is what got me interested in watching this one.
Yeah.
Did you
But
watch?
I don't remember enough of it to judge.
The hallway fight scene is one of the things that still
very, very, very iconic. So, yeah, pretty good. And I can't wait to see Jessica Jones in, because I think Christian Ritter was just, she was like the perfect Jessica Jones. So, anyway, we'll see what happens from there. Any other ruminations on
what's the
Daredevil?
next content out on TV wise? Is it Ironheart?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so Fantastic Four will be the next Marvel movie.
Yeah.
End of July, 1st of July.
Middle of July, right?
Yeah, so Superman will come out before that.
Superman comes out the 11th. I think it may be 2 weeks after.
I think it's 2 weeks.
25th,
and then,
26th,
and then F1's out somewhere in there, which I cannot wait for F1. You guys probably can, but...
Yeah. Every time you say that, I go, F1.
Never mind.
Yeah, I started to say it too.
Yeah. Sorry, Mrs. Reed. We've already blown our rating. So,
Yeah.
But what else is coming out? Summer movies.
Mission Impossible. The last Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, supposedly.
Yeah,
It's
David.
like almost 3 hours long.
Yeah, I saw that.
David wants to go see that when we go on vacation.
I was thinking, I want to go see that in theaters. I thought 3 hours long. I'll have to get the Renpy app going for that.
Probably so. I'm looking at the Rolling Stones.
I need to go back and see. I don't think I ever watched the one before this.
The most recent one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any since the first 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how caught up I am.
I don't know any of us are really caught up. Karate Kid Legends is
I've watched every one of them in the theater.
Wow. Really? You must have really liked them then.
Yeah, The first 3, going back are just okay. To me, it's like 4 when they start picking up pretty good.
Yeah. Ballerina's coming out June 6th. It's,
Speaking of Tom Cruise, he and Ana de Armas are an item now.
Oh, are they?
Really?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Is he going to jump on a couch for her?
I don't know. He may.
You remember that? Oprah, Katie Holmes. I'm so in love. Whatever.
Yeah,
Sorry, Tom. So, but Ballerina is from John
Wick. Yeah, I would like to see that one.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's see what else we got. I'm looking through a few other things. That would be the live action of How to Train Your Dragon. I never saw the animated
I
version.
saw the animated one. It's pretty good, but I don't have any desire to see the live action version of it.
Yeah, me either. 28 years later, June 20th. I'll probably wait for that streaming. I don't know that I can handle that in a theater. So, F1 June 27. Megan 2.0. I never saw Megan 1.0.
Neither.
Not interested.
Yeah.
I thought I might watch it just for fun, but I never did.
Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh, yeah. And
July
that's
2.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw a note about that they're, Robbie, you would understand this more. I forget the terms, but they used whatever kind of cameras they used for the original Jurassic Park in this most recent one to give it the same feel. Or something
So
along
they must
those
be
lines.
shooting on film then,
Maybe.
because that's how they shot the original. So
There's something they're bringing back to give it the same feel as the original shot.
well,
Dinosaurs.
Huh?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's not going to be Michael Crichton, so unfortunately.
Ooh.
So, yeah, Gareth Edwards is doing this one. So,
See, that's another one that you talked about Mission Impossible getting better after 4 or whatever. I've really enjoyed all the more recent Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah, it's like the first one was great.
Yes.
first one's a classic. It's better than great.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Second and third, nah, okay.
Yeah.
And then once they kind of rebooted,
Chris
I thought,
Pratt came in and
it kind of really more embraced the action as opposed to some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I think so. So, Superman's July 11th. I know what you did last summer. Middle of July.
Yeah, that's Jennifer Love Hewitt's back in that one.
Yeah.
Just some of the original
J-Love.
stars.
Yeah, that's right. What was her TV show? Was it?
It wasn't Touched
Ghost
by an
Whisperer?
Angel. Ghost Whisperer. Yeah, that's right.
No, she was in. What was it? It was. Oh gosh, Bonnie watched it. It was like
Party of Five.
Party of Five.
Was she in Party of Five?
She was in Party of
She was
Five.
the girlfriend of the
That's where she rose to prominence.
older,
Okay.
not the oldest brother that took care of everybody, but the next oldest brother.
Lacey Chabert was in that too, right?
Or maybe I'm
Yes.
getting Jennifer.
Yes.
Mississippi's Own.
Yep.
She was one of the.
Nev
she
Campbell.
was the sister.
Yep. Nev Campbell.
Am I
Lacey
getting it-
Chabert. No, that's right.
No, you're right. I just didn't. I never watched it, so I just remembered the 5.
Yeah, and I heard Jennifer Love on the podcast recently, and she was talking about that role, how it we really diverted here, that it wasn't supposed to be a long stint. It was supposed to be just kind of an appearance or two, and then it turned into something major and really got her going.
We should do a Jennifer Love Hewitt retrospective.
Oh.
To her geek score.
Yeah. Sorry, Mrs. Reed.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, First Steps, July 25. Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out the same
Gosh.
day.
Okay.
Never saw the first one. Did you guys see the first one?
I've probably seen bits
Somewhere
and pieces
along
of
the
it
way,
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see what else. The Naked Gun is coming out August 1.
Oh, that's Liam Neeson.
That's Liam Neeson.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
And the trailer for that's pretty funny. I mean, it's just that dumb kind of funny, but you can't help but laugh at it.
I tell you what, you should watch Schindler's List and go see Naked
Oh my
Gun.
gosh, the double feature you've been waiting for.
Yeah, Freakier.
Like Barbenheimer?
Yeah, Freakier Friday's coming.
And that's bringing back Lindsay Lohan and
I believe so. Yeah.
Jamie Lee
Jamie Lee
Curtis.
Curtis?
Yeah.
Really?
And that's pretty much of all the geek versions that we like. So there you go. You got a Daredevil. You got a Daredevil review. You got a summer movie preview.
And
I'm 9 minutes over time.
lots of geeks.
And lots of geeks.
What do you want for nothing?
Yeah. You get your money for your nothing. You get your money for nothing and your geeks for free. Oh, you like that. All right, guys. We'll see you next time around.